Recording this. All right, good morning. Today is May 19th. Welcome to Algebra 1. Today is Miss Ross's birthday, right, Miss Ross?
Yes.
I was like, although you're stuck
Another B-day.
you're stuck at home, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Part. Hopefully
It's okay.
As usual, if you guys can, please have a notebook or paper and pencil in front of you, and if possible, have a calculator so you can do some work with us. Let's do a quick stress check. So in the chat box, make sure to type how you're feeling today. I did not mean to go to the next slide yet. So go ahead and type in from a 0 to a 10. How are you feeling? Okay, good. I see a 0, a 3. All right, so today what we're going to look at is we're going to solve systems of equations by graphing and solve systems of equations by substitution. Because you guys haven't really been here, something I do need you guys to do, hopefully, is get a chance to watch the videos that have been posted up before, because this is all new things. And these are, I think it's starting to get a bit more complicated. So I want to make sure that you guys understand how to do these things before we keep moving on, okay? But before that, let's review the do now. So it says enter an expression equivalent to x squared plus 3x plus 9 minus 5x squared plus 7 minus 6x plus 2. Okay. Oops. So we're going to have to try to combine those numbers and put them all together. So we're going to, first of all, if we see a negative, we're going to imagine that's a -1. Okay. If it's before the parentheses, then it's by itself. We have to distribute that. Okay. What that means is we have to multiply it. So we're going to first take this and leave that alone. Now, -1 times 5x squared is -5x squared. -1 times +7 is -7. And then we keep going. -1 times 6x is -1 6x. -1 times 2 is -2. And then we combine like terms. So this is where we used to do the whole, like, we circle the ones with x squared. And of it. Maybe we put a triangle around, oh, that is not a triangle. Around the x, and then combine the rest. So 8x squared minus 5x squared is 3x squared. 3x minus 6x is minus 3x. Plus 9 minus 7 is 2. And then minus 2 is plus 0. Now, do we need that plus 0 there? No, because it's just plus nothing. So we look to see if we have this answer here. And do we have the answer on there? You select that second option, but make sure that when you go back and do it, do the do now if you haven't done it, or maybe if you want to correct it, make sure that you look for the option, because I think that I put the settings so that the options scramble around, so they move around. You have to make sure it's 3x squared minus 3x. Now let's do this. This is a bit different. This is something we worked on last week. We're supposed to graph both of these and then find the solution, meaning where do they meet. Now notice this is already graphed for you. So both of them are graphed for you. So in the chat box, I want you to type what is the solution. So what is your x and what is your y? And this mainly goes for sincere. So what is my x and what is my y? Remember, this is the x and this is y. Okay. So for this one, we would look at our x, which is on this axis. So that if we look up here, this would be -2. If we look to the side, that would be 3. So based on that, we would do -2, comma. And that makes the answer says match. Okay. All right, so we're going to focus on today's problem. So problem is a restaurant serves a vegetarian and a chicken lunch special every day. Each vegetarian special is the same price. each chicken special is the same price. However, the price of the vegetarian special is different from the price of the chicken special. So what this means is that every day, no matter what, the price of the vegetarian special is the exact same. Like, doesn't matter what day you go, you pay the same thing. Same thing for the chicken special. Every time you go, you pay the same price. But those two don't cost the same. They're different, okay? So on Thursday, the restaurant collected $435 selling 15 vegetarian specials and 30 chicken specials. And then on Friday, the restaurant collected $690 selling 30 vegetarian specials and 40 chicken specials. Enter the cost in dollars of the vegetarian lunch special. So this is something we're going to come back to at the end if we have time. If not, we'll start our session with this question next time. But we don't know how to do this yet. The goal of today is hopefully to learn how to do it. So steps to solve using substitution. So I'm just going to go over the steps and then we're going to actually practice the steps. So the first step is to solve one equation for one variable. Second is we substitute the expression from step 1 into the other equation. We simplify and solve the equation, and then we substitute back into either original equation to find the value of the other variable. So I know this is a lot of information. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and actually practice it.
They were going to find some shade.
All right, so let's look at question number 1. So it's example 1, y equals 4x, 3x plus y equals negative 21. So first step, it's solve one equation for one variable. So we have to make sure that we have a y equals something. This, they already do it for us. We don't even need to figure it out ourselves. We already have a y equals. Okay, so we already have an equation with one variable. Now it says substitute the expression from step 1, which is this, into the other equation. So I'm going to take the other equation. And they tell me that where we have y, we need to plug in, what does y equal to? X.
4.
Good. Good. So we're going to go 3x plus, what did you just say, Melvin?
4x.
And then everything else stays the same. So now we see, what does 3x plus 4x mean?
Feels so good. Forever.
So let's look at the front numbers. 3x plus 4x. What does that equal?
I guess I'm done. Sorry to go drink all the water, Pip. But if we hurry, we can find the Mill's parents and get you home before the sandstorm hits.
So 3x plus 4x, 7x, equals to negative 21. And then here, remember something we worked on in class is to get x by itself. If this is multiplication, we're going to go ahead and divide each side by 7. And that leaves with negative 21 divided by 7 is negative 3. So we know what x is equal to. Do we know what y is equal to? No, because notice it said y is equal to 4x. It didn't give us y by itself. But now that I know what x is, I can just plug that in. Y equals 4 times, and then we know that x is going to be equal to negative 3. Okay. Oops, I know that looks kind of, and then what's 4 times negative 3? Negative 12, and we have our answer. So we have, if we put those together, that's going to be negative 3, comma, negative 12. Okay. And then let me pause. Go to our next slide. So for our next one, again, we have something like this. It says solve one equation for one variable. We already have it being y equals. So we don't need to do anything else. We can choose which one we want to do or which one we want to use. I'm going to write the top one, y equals 2x plus 2. Okay. Now it says substitute the expression from step 1 into the other equation. So I'm going to take the second equation. Okay. And then we're gonna, this one is a little bit different, but we are gonna go ahead and plug that information in either way. So we're gonna go ahead and take our y. What does y equal to? Y equals to 2x plus 2. So where we have y, we're gonna write 2x plus 2. Okay, like that. And then we're gonna make sure that the x's are on the same side, and then we wanna make sure that it's by itself. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna combine the x's. So I'm gonna make sure this x, hopefully you kind of remember this. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So we add it to this side. That becomes 5x. That leaves me with plus 2 equals 4. Now we need x by itself. So let's get rid of this plus 2. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other side. That leaves me with 5x equals, and then 4 minus 2 is 2. And again, I want x by itself, so I divide each side by 5. And that gives me x is equal to 2/5. Now, in order to figure out the equation, let's go ahead and plug that into the original equation. Our x is 2/5. So we're gonna go y equals 2 times 2/5.
Amazed. She's gonna be so ready.
2 times 2 is 4 over 5 plus 2. And this is where it starts getting a little bit trickier, because with something like this, I can also plug it into the calculator. That's another option. You can just go 4 divided by 5 and then add the 2. Or you can do fractions. And if we do fractions, I know that divided by 5 is 2. So notice how it starts getting a little bit more complicated. But if we plug this into the calculator even beforehand, so let's say that you just want to do it in decimals, because I know some decimals are sometimes easier, then we would just get 2.8. So then we have our x. Oh, then our x would have to be a decimal. So I know that these are a little bit, they're a little bit more challenging, especially when they involve fractions and decimals and things like that. That's 0.4. That's why it's helpful when we have the lab, because then we can work on those things hand in hand at the same time. That's what we have so far. Hopefully these will be a little bit easier. Let's practice maybe, how much time do we have left? We have about 9 minutes, so let's try to practice at least 1, maybe 2 if we get to it. But remember, we try to make sure that one of the equations is y equals, and we do. Notice here there's none. So y equals. And then you plug it in, so whatever y is equal to, you plug it in. You go 2x plus 3, and instead of y, we're going to put in 2x minus 2 equals 10. Okay. And then we go, what's 3 times 2x? That's 6x. What's 3 times negative 2? That's negative 6. 2x plus 6x is 8x. Let's try to get that by itself, so let's move the 6 to each side. 10 plus 6 is 16. Remember, I'm trying to get x by itself, so because that's multiplication, I'm going to divide each side by 8. That leaves it to x equal to 2. I still need my y, so again, I'm going to take in my original equation. And because I know what x is this time, I'm going to plug it in. 2 times, and then it tells us what x is. 2 times 2 is 4 minus 2. So y is equal to 2. And notice both of them are 2. So now when I put it in coordinates, it's 2, 2. And that is my final answer. Okay. Now I want to take some time. We're not going to, we're not going to go over this one fully because we'll do it in the next question, but I do want to end on time. So if we're looking at this problem, so it says a restaurant serves a vegetarian. Okay, so we read the problem. We don't have too much time to reread it, but remember that we always do a 3 read. So it should be where you read it 3 times. So the first time, but that might be because we might review this question next session. And that might be why I'm trying to remember if we review this problem. Well, let's do just 3 read then, because I think that's why I put 3 read. I only want us to do the 3 read. So for our first read, we're gonna focus on what is this problem about. So make sure to type it into the chat box if you already know, but I'm gonna read it once more, or well, I'm gonna read it the 3 times. So a restaurant serves a vegetarian and a chicken lunch special every day, or each day. Each vegetarian special is the same price. Each chicken special is the same price. However, the price of the vegetarian special is different from the price of the chicken special. On Thursday, the restaurant collected $435 selling 15 vegetarian specials and 30 chicken specials. On Friday, the restaurant collected $690 selling 30 vegetarian specials and 40 chicken specials, and $2,000 of a vegetarian lunch special. So based on what is this problem about? We have that the first read is chicken and vegetarian specials. Oh, I was about to write it. I know that looks messy. That's supposed to be an R and it looks like a V for some reason. We have our math information, and remember that our third read, that's how we answer the question, well, what is this asking us? And if we look, it says enter the cost in dollars of the vegetarian lunch special. So it's asking us how, and sometimes we have to come up with our own question, but it's asking how much does the vegetarian lunch special, vegetarian special cost? And that is what we're going to have to figure out next time. So next step, so after class, make sure to do your do now for today. Complete the exit ticket. I don't think you guys are doing CFA 5A. I think I put that in the wrong, on the wrong class. But make sure to complete the do now, and then don't forget to finish any assignments that you have yet to complete. So on the side where it says grades, you should be able to see a list of all the assignments that are that have been assigned to you. And then next to it, if it has a little dash, a little line, that means you haven't completed it. Make sure to just get those done because report cards, the last report card will be due sometime in June. So I want to make sure, and not at the end of June, it's due either the first or second week of June. So I want to make sure that you guys get the grades that you deserve. If you have any questions, we have office hours Wednesdays and